the other end is like, they're always like these sad, tiny little movies, and this is so wacky and wild and poppy and bright, and the title alone is so nuts. And it's just different, it's original, so I don't care if people don't like it.
I would like to start by saying that the entertainment industry has created narrative restrictions based on the genre, you know? An action film should be like this, and a horror movie must have all these elements and all that kind of things. But there are also restrictions conditioned by the gender of the filmmaker. Not the experience or their qualities or their talent, but the gender, you know, like when people said a female can't do an action movie or westerns or a gory film. So I would like to know, what do you think about that and how that idea has gradually been lost with your work and some other female directors?
Yeah, I mean, I think there have always been women who are interested in all those genres that you just mentioned, you know, whether it's action films or horror movies. I think it's really just a mythology around like what women are interested in doing. I think you know, we have to be allowed, I think, as artists to show the world whatever we want, you know. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and the opportunity really to me was to sort of lead, you know, and be just lead by example. Just go to set, create this film, have it be everything that I wanted it to be. I had great support behind me the entire time, and I hopefully delivered. You know, that's the job in show business is to sort of break down a little bit of the mythology around what is expected that women want to make. You know, I don't want to be put in a box. I'm very uninterested in being in a box.
Yeah, no, it's a very fun movie. It's a dark comedy, and Elizabeth Banks has said that it's a very risky movie. You know, it's original, but you know, the story and the gory essence and the controversial scenes and the budget and the box office, everything makes a very risky film about cocaine bear. So do you think it is also risky for you and the cast, or what do you think makes a film like dangerous for an actor?
I didn't feel it was risky at all. I mean, I absolutely understand the question, but you know, everything's the same right now. You know, movie theater movies are all, and I have nothing against them. Like I had a small part in Star Wars. I loved doing that. That was so fucking fun. But you know, it's all like superhero movies, and or the other end is like, they're always like these sad, tiny little movies, and this is so wacky and wild and poppy and bright, and the title alone is so nuts. And it's just different, it's original, so I don't care if people don't like it. I mean, I don't think it's offensive in any way. I think it's just about going with your friends and laughing your head off and screaming and being scared. And it's just about forgetting the world for an hour and a half, you know? But I think it's a perfect movie for Liz to make, because she's so funny, she's so smart, but she has that edge too, and she loved the gore of those movies. She was really specific about that. So I actually think it's not a risk for her, and I hope it does really well for her.
Being a parent is at the center of the movie. The bear is a mother. Ray Liotta and Alden characters are fathers. Obviously, the most notorious is Keri Russell's character as a mother who risks everything to find her daughter and save her. So that was the core of the movie since the beginning, or that idea evolved during the process?
No, it was always in the script, and I loved that aspect of it. I thought it was super relatable and grounded, and I really thought it made the movie feel, there's a sense of cohesion in the movie. It's a really wonderful reveal when you realize that the bear is also a mother, you know? It's like, oh, everybody's trying to protect their cubs. Everybody's trying to sort of hold on to their own, and it's only through the cooperation, right, between each other and being open to like new and exciting things that like these people are able to make it to the other side.
Well, when Liz told me about the movie, we had been talking on the phone, it was during COVID, and we'd been talking on the phone about a completely other project to do together, this very different tone than Cocaine Bear. And as probably every other project is a different tone than Cocaine Bear. But she called me back the next day and said, hey, I'm directing this crazy movie. Do you want to read the script? And I was like, yeah. And I just think it was at the height of COVID and things were so hard and so intense for the whole world. And reading this just felt like such a break from all of that and not real, and just to read something so ridiculous and crazy and funny and wild. And I just thought, this is exactly the right time to make a stupid movie like this, where everyone can go and just laugh their head off. And the part, I don't know, I just felt like, oh, I know how to do that. I can be a mom, like finding, and Margot Martindale, who's a friend of mine from The Americans, we were on this other project together. Margot and Jesse and I in the woods just laughing our heads off making this movie. It was such a fun way to come out of COVID.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with everything you said. So thank you very much for your time, Keri, and thank you very much for this movie. I think it's different, so thank you very much for that.